Hi, thank you. I'm going to talk about somebody who has a seat, or had a seat, at the Algonquin Round Table. The great American satirist Dorothy Parker. She once said, "If you don't have anything nice to say, come sit next to me." And that was a philosophy that I ascribed to most of my life. And I found that, that kind of biting humor, people who have a little bit of a wicked sense of humor, it's both a blessing and a curse. Because humor kind of falls under the umbrella of the pen is mightier than the sword. And if you're born with a sharp tongue, you can cut deeply. And this is a lesson that I have learned throughout life. But it took me a long time to learn that because it's a very hard, it's hard to recognize in yourself. Mostly, I think, because it's so rewarded in media, right? Like, I watch television and America absolutely loves the sassy little sister or the irascible barmaid who's like slinging drinks and zingers. Like, America loves it on TV. They don't like it so much in real life. But I don't know that, so I keep doing it. And I just do it over and over again. And now I find that I have lived long enough to see myself become the villain. And I have morphed from, high school mean girl to full-on Cruella de Vil. And okay, I'm just walking through life like I'm miserable, darling. I'm absolutely wretched as usual. And I think, okay, you know what? Maybe before I crave a coat made of puppies, I should do something about this. But, like any behavior or any addiction or any patterns, it's really hard to break, right? So, therapy, only goes so far. Self-care, only goes so far. Sleep schedule, yeah, only goes so far. And I find myself kind of pondering out loud to someone. I said, I wish there was a 12-step program, but instead of being for people who can't stop drinking, it's for people who can't stop being a bitch. And she's like, wait a minute, there is. It's called Emotions Anonymous, swear to God. Okay, so I look into it, and EA, turns out, is for anybody who's come to the realization that hi, I might be the problem, right? So it's the same thing, all the steps are the same, but obviously it's a little bit different. So step 2, you have to accept a higher power, right? Okay, in AA, that higher power is usually Jesus Christ. And in EA, that higher power is often Robin Williams, right? So, okay. So you're doing it, you're doing the steps, you're doing really good. The awkward step, I found a very awkward step, was 9. Step 9, you have to make amends. And so, right, AA, you make an amends sorry, I got drunk and crashed your car. EA is sorry, I got cocky and crushed your spirit. Sorry about that. And then also you have to make amends to yourself. Because a lot of people who are kind of self-deprecatingly funny, will put themselves down so much that every punch is below the belt by default. You beat yourself up as much as you beat up other people. And they give you this, they teach you this little trick, and they're take a picture of yourself when you were a child, put it on your bathroom mirror, and try to remind yourself, do not say anything to yourself that you would not say to this little person. And I was okay, that's nice advice. Except I was a child growing up in the 70s. So every morning I have to resist the urge to look at this and be hey kid, nice bowl cut. So I'm not doing it. I'm bigger than this. I'm getting through this. I'm going to do this. Okay. So I make it through 9. All right. Now I'm at 12. 12, the 12th and final step. Absolute mess. So that one you're supposed to take your, what you've learned, take the message and spread it to somebody else who may need it. And so here was my attempt. I'm talking to a friend at work at the time, and I'm complaining about something. And her response to something negative that I was saying was to go, "Aw, gay. And I was like, ooh, you know what? You're not really supposed to use that word as a pejorative anymore. Like you might want to try to switch it out with something less offensive, like lame. And she's like, hey, my son is lame. And I was like, okay, sorry about that. So basically, I can't win. All right, thank you very much.